Hi, I'm Dr. Pachenik. Today I want to talk about sexual predatory behavior, which has been rampant in the Vatican and in all of Florida and the United States. It's an issue that's quite serious. Trump has addressed it. He said we have to get rid of it. Well, as one could expect, the Pope Francis really did nothing. He spoke and said nothing. There were no results, there were no outcomes, and hundreds of bishops did nothing. In contrast, we had secular sheriffs in Florida who came in and busted several hundred places all over Florida, including the place in Jupiter, which is in south of Florida, a very wealthy community, and the sheriff of Jupiter arrested Robert Kraft, the head of the National Football League, the Patriots. The key there was that the sheriff said what was happening was the abuse of women coming over from China and terrible conditions in which they lived. He went into detail, but his result and final statement was that men are the menace and the monsters who deal with these prostitutes who are brought over from overseas. Similarly, one of our own sheriffs, a friend of mine named Gordon Smith, has been very effective in culling out sexual predatory behavior for the past 5 to 10 years in Bradford County. We're not a rich county, we're actually one of the poorest counties in all of Florida. And in contrast to Jupiter, we have been very effective at identifying predatory behavior, that is, identifying the individual who comes across as narcissistic, grooming behavior, a loner, and basically comes and addresses a child repeatedly and has had previous offenses. Well, it turns out that Gordon Smith has been very effective in arresting these predators, and our sexual predatory behavior is almost down to zero. The reason for that is he's been, along with our police force, Bradford County, they've been very intuitive, they've been very instructive, and they've helped other counties, both in Florida and all over the United States, to explain to them how to identify a sexual predator. This is something that Pope Francis could learn from. If I were the Pope, I would take the Batmobile, fly over here to Keystone Heights, and go visit Gordon Smith, our sheriff in Bradford County. This is his email. It's sheriffsmith01@gmail.com, and ask him for some help on how you can identify the sexual predators in the Vatican and how you can get rid of them. If you don't do this, you will have an institution which debases a very good religion, Catholicism, debases Christianity, and in the meantime makes a farce out of the notion of the Catholic Church. But let me remind you all, sexual predatory behavior isn't specific only to the church and to various communities. It has been rampant in our government. If you remember, Bush Sr. had a whole group of young Hispanic men whom he groomed and played with. At the same time, Hillary and Bill Clinton, along with their friend Mr. Epstein, went down to the Bahamas, and they were molesting and utilizing young girls and boys to have sexual pleasures, and nothing was done about the fact that Jason Epstein had been guilty and convicted of that crime, and now the judge has overturned that plea of guilt and said, no, we can't try him anymore. So sexual predatory behavior is inherent to the power system, be it a political system, a religious system, or civil system. The reason for that is when you have a hierarchy of individuals, men and women, who think they're powerful, they think they can do whatever it is they can want to do in order to gratify their sexual needs. It's pathetic that they have to go after young boys and young girls, as was evidenced in Jupiter, as was evidenced in Bradford County. But my last point is very simple. Gordon Smith said, enough rhetoric, let's get results. Ho Chi Minh, the father of Vietnam, said, when we open up the prisons of the predators, be careful of the dragons. Good night and good luck.